Welcome everyone to the Overwatch All-Stars Brawl presented by Star Esports. Today we have a double elimination tournament dedicated specifically to the Overwatch Tier 3 community. We are powered by OmniCoach, so be sure and visit omnicoach.gg and use our promo code Star Esports for 10% off your first video package order. Now today, hopping into the game, we do have Team Citizens going up against Redacted in match 14 here in the main bracket. I'm Sir Waltham. Today I'm going to be joined by Poor Zach. Poor Zach, how are you feeling about the match today?
I'm feeling pretty good. I think we're going to have a pretty close match here today. Both really good teams.
Absolutely hoping so. And before we get into the match, we're going to have Poor Zach asking just a few questions to Pleb. So Poor Zach, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, we are joined so gratefully by Chris from Citizens. Chris, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Chris, and I'm the owner of Citizens.
Yeah, and being the owner of Citizens, do you guys have other teams other than your Overwatch team?
So we mainly have our Overwatch team that we've been... we mainly have our Overwatch team that we're putting a lot of focus in. We had a couple Apex teams as well. And we're going to be looking to expand into Rainbow Six Siege and League of Legends as well.
Nice. And how long have you guys actually had this Overwatch team for?
I think we've had our Overwatch team since, I'm not sure of the exact time period, but since the beginning of last Open Division. Pretty much the same guys as well too, and they've been working really hard to kind of form into a solid group.
Nice. And being the owner of the org, do you got like a lot of things to handle at once, or do you just kind of have like an amount of sub people below you that you kind of manage?
We have a great team for our Overwatch team. They've been doing a great job of kind of running the whole operation. I'm really grateful for everybody involved with that. As for myself, we do a lot of IRL stuff too, with like local tournaments and stuff like that as well. So I kind of got my hands full with a lot of the IRL stuff, being the representative for that. But yeah, again, we have a lot of great staff members kind of running the show for the Overwatch team.
Really cool. All right. I don't really have any more questions for you. I think we've kind of gotten a little bit of a basis here. Like I said before, thank you for coming out and having this little interview with us. Really appreciate it.
No worries, guys. And as always, thank you for hosting such a great tournament. We really all appreciate it.
And we appreciate you joining.
Have a good one.
You too. All right. Getting ready to head into the match now. Looking at this, Sir Waltham, who do you think kind of favors more in this match, or if anyone at all?
Oh, it's a little tough, at least for me, to kind of really pinpoint. If you're looking at kind of map wins, you definitely have to think that Citizens are looking a little bit solid, or a little bit more solid here. They have not dropped a map yet, whereas Redacted did lose one to SK Esports. I believe it was earlier this week or last week. But yeah, I mean, just looking at those numbers specifically, it's going to be looking like it's going to slightly maybe go in their favor. But, well, I think we're just going to have to find out, to be honest.
Yeah, and going here with the first point, Temple Anubis, right now in blue, you have Citizens in red. You got Redacted here. I think this is going to be an interesting one here. Normally on the defense, especially on this map, you'll see a bunker, and Redacted actually, I believe, on their attack ran a dive in their last match for Temple of Anubis and worked fairly well on the first point. So I wouldn't be surprised to probably see bunker defense dive offense.
Yeah, I mean, whenever we talk about Anubis, I always get excited at the possibility of seeing a sniper come out. And it looks like that's kind of what we're going to be teased with, at least at the start here from the side of Citizens. We're going to be seeing default on that Widowmaker. I love to see it. I love to see it.
Yeah, and it's going to be kind of difficult here for default with this Widow, purely just because with the dive comp, they're going to be mainly targeting default in the back, just trying to make sure that they're going to be able to negate all that damage that could be coming in from that sniper. Yeah.
Incredibly true. However, it does look like Citizens going to be setting up on the high ground with default. Usually we see the Orisa set up kind of in the middle lane, the middle alcove, but here they're going to be setting up kind of as a squad, and you got to think that's going to help them, but the doors are going to open and we're going to see the team rolling out. We will be waiting for perhaps Dembeck and Kuya to kind of get that initiation, but some big shots going on to Kuya to start. It's going to cause a little bit of a stall. And they're going to be taking up that middle ground now, taking it just a little bit cautiously, taking it a little bit slow. They want to make sure they get this dive correct right on the first go around, but it will be Mitch on the point. And then we are going to see the dive come in from Dembeck and Kuya. The anti-nade from Rakitak going to be hitting onto Dembeck. Both the Ana and the Winston from opposing teams are going to be falling. And right now the fight has kind of devolved on the point, but it is still looking like it's going in favor of Redacted. That high ground bunker, maybe not the most efficient thing for the side of Citizens quite yet. Drake killing their opposing support. Looks like it might be the final nail in the coffin here, as it's going to be Redacted taking progress.
Yeah, and I think the idea there is setting up on that far back high ground above the point rather instead of the one closer to the choke is to kind of make the dive setup take a little bit longer and hopefully look for a pick being available in there. Unfortunately, no one really was in the position for them to get picked off on the side of Redacted there. So they were able to have a pretty solid first point attack. Very good. Going into this next one, though, not as dive favored, in my opinion, but might as well just roll with what you got because you're very close on these ults.
Absolutely, and we're going to be seeing the Genji Nano Blade come out. Going to be taking down one in Rakitak. That is a valuable kill for Genji, as he doesn't have to worry about that Brigade contesting him anymore. Gonna be getting brought kind of low, but Drake also getting a couple kills on their own. Ana pretending to be the sniper that she was meant to be. The Tire gonna come out and claim that fragging out sniper, and they're gonna be getting a little bit of progress on the point. That's the side of Redacted, but we're gonna be seeing the reinforcements come in from Citizens. In fact, the res even gonna be coming out onto Eincrow. That is a big value res, but it looks like they're gonna hold because of, or well, in conjunction with it.
Yeah, and on this last point here, really it's hard to not hold because of how fast you can respawn and get to the point through relatively short time frame here. And considering Redacted was already down a couple going into the last fight there with a couple of ticks, or with a couple people there getting a tick, pardon me, it was just going to be so much easier for Citizens to come back and take that point, and that's exactly what happened. They were able to just group up, just slowly take out people again, and now they head into the next fight.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be seeing an EMP getting purple and Rakitak. Both will be getting demeched and killed, respectively. However, translocation is going to come out from the Sombra. We're going to be seeing the Primal come out from Salieri, but in response, Beam drops that sound barrier, just trying to keep the team alive and keeping presence on point. But as we can see, now kills are starting to lean in favor of being kind of even here. But as I say that, we're going to be seeing a flood of kills coming through from Redacted. That is looking good. They need to get these kills quick and thorough. The Diva Destruct going to come in from purple just to kind of buy a little bit of respawn time. Will not get punished for being out of mech, but will get demeched once again in very quick order. The tick has still not come through from the side of Redacted, but they are grinding at it. Eincrow on this Doomfist going to be taking down Drake. Default cleaning up Kuya as that Diva going to be getting demeched. And it's looking like another defensive hold for the time being from the side of Citizens.
Yeah, and it was really looking like it was more towards Redacted there in that fight. But like I said, on this point, you just spawn so fast, and you really have to clean up the defense fast enough. But the problem is, if you do clean them up fast enough, then they're all going to come back at the same time. So you may be able to get another tick off that, but then you're going to have to get ready for the next fight. So now with them going in here, I think what they're going to keep doing is just trying to focus down their supports or someone who's out of position here. Right now, Salieri, with that anti on him, is going to have to back up.
Yeah, Dembeck going to be taking an early kill because of that Doomfist and Diva focus down, and we're going to be seeing Default not have that Pulse Mine. It did get eaten in the interim fight, and Eincrow going to be going absolutely mad on this mid line, taking down the Ana, and they're going to be getting a little bit aggressive, but they realize that, and they're going to be pulling back just a bit.
Yeah, Doomfist doing really well right now, kind of going against those dive characters, so once they do get in, he just charges up that Rocket Punch, slams them against the wall, and already they're going to be down like 50% of their health. So then you just got to watch out because they also got the burst damage from the Tracer being able to hit just so many shots in unison together with the Doomfist, and then the Winston could jump on you and it could just take someone down super fast. But right now, taking down someone super fast could be this Blade here.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be seeing 3 ults come out. Brooks going to be getting the Nano Blade on top of the EMP. Kuya then throwing in the Diva Bomb just to kind of compound those ultimates. That is 4 ultimates invested into this fight. Default taking down Brooks. The kills are starting to go a little bit back and forth here. It's looking like it might slightly be in favor of Citizens, but we're going to have to see as there's just a Sombra and Diva left. Looks like the Sombra will be getting killed as the Diva's going to try to make an escape, and Kuya's not going to quite get away.
Yeah, Redacted right now kind of low in the ultimate department after that fight now, but again, same thing going on to the side of Citizens. No one really has their ult, so these next few pushes probably aren't going to count to too much here, except for just gathering up that ult charge, unless they're able to pick someone off in a very quick fashion, like Salieri or Encro right here, someone who's actually just been putting in a lot of damage, and Brooks also picking up default.
Yeah, and then the hack going on to the Diva played by Purple, that is going to be crucial. The Primal Rage coming out of the Winston, keeping that Brig off the point, keeping that group healing off of the point, equally important. Then we're going to be seeing the Sound Barrier coming out as well. No EMP to counteract it. Brooks pulling out the Blade as soon as they get it, taking down Rack Attack for their efforts. And the slash is coming through, trying to focus onto that Mercy. Not quite going to happen, though. Camboyo staying alive for much longer than perhaps needed to be from the opposing team. Eincro finally going to be taking down that rogue Genji, and with that, it looks like the offense is starting to get some kills here. They've certainly got some progress on the board, and the hack's trying to come through, not quite going to net. Rack Attack going to be falling, and with that, we're going to be seeing some more progress hop onto the board for Redacted. Doesn't look like it's going to quite be enough, however, as we see defense reinforcements come in. Eincro taking down Dembek, however, will be traded by Drake. It's looking back and forth, but it's not quite going in favor of the side of Redacted because of that. We're seeing Citizens start to get reinforcements here in droves, and because of that, it just does not look like the attacking team can really get a foothold. And with the Diva falling, you have to think they got to start pulling back here. The Sound Barrier coming out may have been a little bit of a misplay. We're seeing that Genji being really focused down by the Winston. Brooks just trying to get away, trying to survive. The Primal Rage coming through from both Winstons, going to be getting kills on both ends of the table. They're just kind of whacking each other around right now, leaving DPS from each side to just get cleaned up because of it. It will, however, be Dembek who takes the loss in that fight when the rest of the reinforcements for the side of Citizens are going to come in. And with that, Citizens going to hold this fight at the last moment.
Yeah, but coming quick and fast here, Kuya here. The Hammond usually having a lot of time to contest, but getting body blocked, actually not going to be able to make it to the point in time.
That is brutal. That fight went on for so long. It felt like so much time was being bought by Citizens just by how long they made that team fight last.
Yeah, and you saw at the end there, with about 30 seconds left, they did use that Lucio ultimate. And while it may not have attested to as much as they would have hoped, they were actually able to kind of hold on the point a little bit longer to wait for the rest of their team to get on. I think that was the thought process behind it was, okay, do we want to just have everyone die and hurry and reset for a fight, but then we'd only get back and then break 20 seconds left, or maybe even less than that. Who knows what could happen in that amount of time. So let's just try to keep everybody who's on the point right now alive. Meanwhile, our teammates who are coming back are about to make it there. So that was definitely, I think, the thought process behind that specific Sound Barrier.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly makes sense. It was a looking pretty grim. There was kind of that, yeah, you could see that there might be that doubt whether can we make it back to point with, such a small time bank. If not, we're going to have to drop the Sound Barrier just to keep the few people we do have there alive. I mean, I definitely agree. But now we're going to kind of look towards the Citizens attack, and they're also going to be running what looks like a little bit of a dive style comp here. However, they're going to be running a Brigitte. It's not quite the most common dive support.
Yeah, and I imagine they'll switch off of it soon. I don't think I could see them going in with this exact comp. But right now on the defense here, running a Mei Junk actually with the Widow. So we got a triple DPS going in here. Mercy on the solo heals is usually a very good solo healer because of how much healing she can just put out and the movement she has in case a dive were to come onto them is fairly well here. But now going on the offense. Dive possibly. Maybe they're going to switch over to a little more. Nope, they're going to go with the dive. All right, it's a very good choice here. Default on that Sombra there. Big EMP could come into this bunker and just completely disrupt it, but also what could disrupt it is that little bit of a boob coming in from that Pharah concussive blast right now.
Yeah, absolutely. The Eincro going to be disrupting the entirety of that team on that high ground. Now it looks like the rest of Redacted don't quite know where they want to set up. They're looking a little disjointed, but it's still going to be Mitch trying to get the shots onto that Pharah, but the dive coming in from both the tank, Salieri and Purple, going to be a good opening onto that Widowmaker. Default then in turn going to be taking out Drake. Lots of headshots, lots of kills coming through from the side of Citizens. Things are looking pretty good for them for this first point. They're going to be taking it a little bit slower here as the kills are just kind of coming through evenly, not too quickly, but that Roadhog going to perhaps be the last one to fall onto point. I can't imagine we're going to be seeing too much more contest come through from Redacted.
Yeah, right now, going into this next fight on the second point, they got a couple ults built up. They have the Barrage. They're almost at that EMP, which I'm sure they'll be able to build by the time they get on this point. It could be very big here. You get a good EMP through, that immortality field can't stop anything from coming through, and then you're just going to be rained with those rockets from the Barrage, and it could be a quick fight.
Yeah, certainly will have to be Eincro going to have that rocket barrage. Not quite a diva to kind of negate that. We're going to be seeing the dive come in from Salieri, who gets burnt down pretty quickly. That came through almost immediately. The EMP to follow, though. 4 members getting stuck. Kuya getting brought dangerously low. So many members getting brought dangerously low. Not quite killed, though. Dembek, Kuya. Mitch is able to stay alive. Mitch is until cleaned up by the Sombra, that is. But it's still looking like it's going to be a steadfast hold for the defense.
Yeah, with the positioning all the way over on the left side on the point there, it was a little more favored towards Redacted there, because what had to happen was Encro had to get super close with that far to try to throw it in, but they just weren't in the same position as Default was able to get in that EMP, so they went for a little bit more of a long range barrage to try to put in some damage, but the EMP effect was soon to be over, and then Drake was just able to pick off the kill there, so that was really good by him.
Yeah, it certainly was. We're going to be seeing Default kind of positioning to the side here, trying to find an ideal hack. Going to be getting it onto Beam. They're going to recognize that Mercy has that Valk up and online. Brooks going to be throwing out the Blizzard just to buy a little bit of space. Kuya throwing out the whole hog, the meat grinder as it goes. Einkrot taking down the Immortality field. That will be Drake without one of their most crucial cooldowns. Brooks getting hacked, meaning that Mei is not going to have any stall potential on the point. And a long sleep for Kuya, but they will be woken back up as we see this battle boggle coming out from the Ori. Purple getting hooked and dragged, going to be demeched because of their efforts. And another EMP coming out from Default. Kuya this time going to be taken out alongside Dembek. No tanking capabilities from the offense, or from the defense here. And it's looking somewhat favorable for the side of Citizens, but they need to clean this Mei up if they want to get any progress here.
Yeah, and that EMP was really good right there. Now pulling out the damage field here from the Baptiste, try to maybe take them off a little bit quicker, just kind of make them back off a little bit, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Citizens needs to back off. They know that they're all coming back in, and with that EMP there, an anti-nade actually came in from Rack Attack, I believe, to actually get both of the tanks, so then they couldn't get any healing. So that could have been really, really detrimental for the team. But thankfully that Mei was able to just stall on the point a little bit longer, let everyone kind of get back, and just start snowballing back. But they were able to get a tick there, so all they need is another tick in about a half, and then they get the point. So they do really have to be careful on the side of Redacted here.
Yeah, and we're going to be seeing Einkrot not having a whole lot of ult charge for this dive, but they did throw out the dragons at the very end. We're going to be seeing the nano boost go on to Salieri, trying to build up that ult charge for the primal, not finding too many kills with it. Going to be getting frozen as they go into primal rage. Salieri just trying to knock around that Orisa. However, will have the fortify up to kind of bolster their position. The Blizzard coming out once again, going to be eaten by purple. That is crucial. Salieri then taking out the main tank for the side of the defenders right here. And along that, the Diva will fall. We're going to be seeing a little bit more progress come out. The Diva Bomb coming out from the attack. Not going to be finding too much, but it will be on the side of Purple to get the quick remake. The hack going onto the ball. That is a crucial mistake by Dembek to get caught out by that. The Reaper going to be coming out to try to just hold down point a little bit. It's not going to quite work, as we're going to see Citizens take this point.
Yeah, and a big eat coming in from that, coming in from Purple to take out that Blizzard, because what's really kind of been happening is the Mei kind of stalls these dives from coming in, whether it's just slowing down the Winston when they're trying to get back onto one of the supports, or whether it's just someone else in the back line that they know that they can freeze and do a quick pickoff on. You know, you really got to be careful looking at that. And that Blizzard coming out, that could have gotten a lot of people there to slow them down, or just make a couple just not be able to fight at all. And because it was eaten there, you know, there was no value from it. And then the Mei got taken out, and then everybody just started falling over like dominoes. So you really had to be careful there. That Mei ult was probably the winning factor.
Yeah, absolutely. Some pretty good Diva play coming out from Purple, but that's just one caster's opinion. You guys got to let me know what you think down in the Twitch chat below. Make sure to throw your votes for MVP of the game of the night here, I suppose, in the Twitch chat. Let us know who you think is popping off. But now we'll be heading on to the map pick and ban phase. And Zach, we know that Junkertown just got banned by, that would have been the side of, I believe, Citizens. What do you think Redacted is going to go with here?
I'm not 100% sure what they want to go with here. Their dive was good. Citizens also had a pretty solid dive though, so maybe maybe they want to go for a control point map. Those are usually fairly what's the word I'm looking for? Well diversed with their like sub map categories like Lijiang and Ilios, Nepal. They all kind of have their own little play styles that you could go with on them. So I think maybe they want to go for something like that, just to kind of see like maybe what they're better at than Citizens are, or maybe they find a weak spot with Citizens in one of their compositions, and then they go from there. I think is definitely a possibility.
Yeah, that I mean, you say it like that, it definitely makes a lot of sense. Instead of, you know, throwing one map type after one map type of specific play styles, you kind of get the sampler platter if you go with one of the control point maps. You can see, if you go to Ilios, you'll see the ruins, you'll see their sniper capabilities, you'll see the well, you'll see their Orisa Hog capabilities, all that different kind of a breakdown. But it looks like they're going to take that advice and go to Lijiang, excuse me.
Yeah, Lijiang Tower is fairly good. You got your control point maps that are like you got control center, which is normally a little bit more tank heavy. You're gonna definitely see the Mei there. You got Night Market where you could really run pretty much anything. And then you have Gardens where you kind of see more of the triple DPS or maybe more divey sort of comp. So I think now they're gonna start seeing a little bit of what each team has to offer here.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a wide variety of what we might be seeing here. We are just waiting for these teams to ready up before we get swinging into the action, and we are going to be waiting our first sub map.
And the possibility, it's usually, I feel like it's always Night Market, and here it is again, not failing to prove me wrong. I don't know if that's just pure luck or if it's just how it always goes, but it feels like we always start off on Night Market. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it always feels like very rarely, especially for Gardens, we ever see anything different. Command Center every once in a while, but as soon as I start praying for that Pharah pick, it seems like Gardens has been removed from the map rotation. But as we mentioned, we will be starting here on Night Market. Ready to kind of see it. As we mentioned, a lot of variety can come through with this map.
Yeah, and I think what we're probably going to see here might be a little more of that 2-2-2 style. You could still see the goats here. It's definitely not out of the question. But it looks like right now that on the side of Redacted, they are looking at that 2-2-2. Well, actually, they're looking at a 3-2-1 here. But I imagine Kuya is probably going to switch over to that Roadhog if they do decide to go with this. And then on the side of Citizens here, we have a standard dive-ish comp. You got the default, so you got the sniper who can sit up, which pretty good sights right now for a sniper on this map. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do like to stay on this composition. Kimboy probably going to switch over to that Mercy now to get that Lucio speed boost right at the start and go for it. But now looking at these comps, we got a bunker versus dive. Really just kind of a rock, paper, scissors match right now, looking at it. And the dive can work so well onto this bunker composition. But another issue is the bunker composition likes to kind of keep you a little farther away. So when you are coming in on that dive, there's a high damage output coming through. And a hook on a purple here is going to start off our fight, making it a pretty big hook.
Yeah, a very big hook. However, 2 tanks going to be falling from both sides. Dembeck dropping, and now Salieri. Both tanks gone for the dive-centric team in the Citizens. Looks like the Pharah took perhaps a little too long to rotate, not able to quite find the value that they might have wanted. It will be the supports for Citizens trying to just buy a little bit of time onto the point. We see Camboyo just trying their best, pulling out the Mercy pistol. Not going to quite work. Sorry, take it back to spawn.
Yeah, Kuya there, getting 2 really good picks. I believe he got the pick off on a purple, and then they got Salieri. So a good way to start that fight off there. The thing is with that Roadhog, you put in so much damage close quarters, and then if someone is a little bit farther away, you just throw in that hook and get them, and you bring them close quarters. You make them fight you head on. And sometimes it's not really exactly what you want to go for because, there's just such the high damage output. Brooks actually firing the Dragon up there trying to take out the Pharah Mercy, which would have been pretty cool to see, but they were able to back off in time.
Yeah, however, same fate cannot be saved from Purple as they will get shredded down by Dembeck. Looking like it's going to be a bit of a retreat based off of the back end of that.
Mitch was the great pick on Encro here, but of course he's going to get rezzed up. Mitch has been doing a very good job on this Widowmaker, winning that Widowmaker duel at the start of the match, and now with the Infrasites, they're going to be seeing the Sombra and the Hammond possibly behind them. They're going to be very careful now going into this next fight on the side of Citizens because Redacted know exactly where they are.
Yeah, they certainly
actually they can take him down too.
They're certainly going to have to be very careful, however, will not stop the kills from coming through from the side of Redacted. They're looking good so far. This bunker comp seeming to do very well for them, and just like that, it's looking like the fight's going to pretty much be over.
Yeah, now going into the next fight, maybe they want to change something up. Now they have the Nano going into this, so they could possibly jump all the way in the back onto the Mercy. But right now, Dembeck close on that Bongo. Brooks with the Dragons to try to fend them off. If they do get too close, you could just fire that Dragon into your own team to kind of prevent them from going in on you. Bongo coming out now. High damage output from Redacted going to be coming through.
Yeah, Sally are going to be taken down early by Brooks. Caught off a little bit too much on point. Going to be seeing the Lucio, or the Genji, excuse me, Eincro playing that same position. A very dangerous position, as Salieri has already once proved, but it will kind of move the rest of the team Redacted onto point, make them get out of their prior positioning. Salieri going to be back onto point, and the kills now starting to come through for Citizens. We're seeing the Genji hop into the backlines here, going to be taken down with the with the help of the Sombra, taking down that soldier and the Orisa, and they're going to finally capture point at 99.
Yeah, EMP able to get, I believe, 3 people there. Dembek, Kuya, and I believe Beam. So Beam couldn't really fly anywhere. Good pick off with that dive, good focus fire. But now Bunker makes it a little bit harder to go in. There's a few switches coming out, though, that could make it a little bit easier for them. This Reaper in particular to try to take on Purple, I believe, Salieri, but Brooks getting the first pick off on the default here. Definitely not what you want to see from the side of Citizens.
Yeah, default's not going to be happy about that. Brooks not going to be building too much ult charge off of that, but they still have man advantage because of it. The mines coming out from Salieri might be just a little bit of a zoning maneuver here, but Drake gonna have to pop out that immortality field, and in that meantime, it will be Redacted going to take the point back in their favor. Now the side of Citizens are gonna have to work to regain control. They're gonna have to blow ultimates to do it. We're gonna see the sword and the primal come out, and Salieri just rolling themselves off of map.
Yeah, that was really good at the end there. Kuya actually, when Salieri put down the mines, was kind of forced off a little bit farther back, so they weren't actually in there for that fight. And then Ankro could just pull out his blade. As soon as the Baptiste ult actually came out, focused him down, and then as soon as he saw Lucy, went over for that. So 2 really high picks. You took out the Baptiste, who is going to be that main support right now in the team composition, and the Lucio, who's going to be the one to try to speed them out and get them to regroup faster. So very good blade. And then, of course, we saw Purple there with a pretty nice Primal Rage as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be seeing the whole hog combo come out, and then we're going to be Nano Boost go on to Kuya, who gets burned down by Eincro and company. It's going to be absolutely brutal. Salieri going to be really put in a tough spot because of this May, but the entire rest of Redacted going to be put in a tough spot by that Sombra EMP from default. However, only 3 members standing. Mitch's Reaper Death Blossom going to be doing a lot of damage. Camboyo not going to be able to survive, and with that, Redacted going to be taking point, and it's going to be questionable if Citizens are going to be able to recover. They certainly have the contest here, but Salieri not going to be for too long, and like that, we see the overtime wick burn down, and objective's going to be secured.
Yeah, I think what happened there, we saw a pretty big EMP, and then the sound barrier also come through. Not only the EMP now making everybody's abilities useless because they can't use them, but also the sound barrier giving everyone a little bit more of a health boost. I think possibly that sound barrier didn't make its way over to Purple, and Mitch was actually able to pick them off fairly fast there, so making it a little bit harder to really go in without that main tank to kind of provide a little bit of that stress relief from the more squishy characters, and they were just able to slowly make their way back as soon as their abilities came back online. And just all in all, pretty good hold there, or pretty good retake there going in from Redacted.
Yeah, absolutely. Redacted now looking like they might be wanting to run a double sniper composition here, and perhaps if by premonition Citizens not going to be choosing to run a Pharah into the face of it, I think that's a very good call. We're going to be seeing Camboyo jump right on the point with that Lucio, and followed by the rest of company. However, it's going to be the tanks of the side of Citizens who get right aggressive onto the rest of Redacted. It's going to be Dembek trying to hold fast. Mitch taking down Eincro with a spicy headshot. That's going to be some pretty good value. We're going to be seeing that Winston bubble come out, just trying to buy the team a little bit of space from the side of Purple. Purple now going in with Salieri towards the back line. Drake getting pressured down, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter too much, as now the front line of Redacted is going to be flooding onto point. Default taking down a few members, but going to be brought, or Mitch going to be brought right back up despite being taken down. And now we're seeing the Salieri respawn come in from the Hammond. In fact, we're going to be seeing the amplification matrix now come in as well. We're going to also be seeing Rectac pop that coalescence just to give a little bit of healing. That tank combo, however, from the side of Redacted still has not fallen. They are looking so resilient. The fortification coming through from Dembek as they get stuck by that Tracer Pulse Mine, going to be keeping them up and alive, and at least not hurting as much. However, the tanks now start to fall, and it's going to go in favor of Citizens for this fight.
Yeah, you can see Salieri, default actually getting 2 picks there, very nice. Salieri was actually going in the back line, even at the start of the fight there, just trying to make sure that the supports were taken care of, whether that was either from kind of displacing them or trying to take them out there. Really good job by both of them, but right now Purple actually getting taken out, and they don't have a res on the side of Citizens right now, so Redacted's going to realize it's their time and going to start making their way in.
Yeah, but it was a very costly push. We saw the Kuya come out with the whole hog. We saw the Bob come out. However, Brooks going to be switching onto this Mei, trying to get a little bit of a walling potential here and playing strong against Salieri, who does have those mines up. Speaking of ults, we're going to be seeing the Battle Bongo come out from Ori default, taking down that Immortality field. That is one less thing for the side of Citizens to have to worry about. However, Kuya still always a threat, taking down Salieri, who managed to get a couple kills with the mines here. So what was once looking kind of like a death knell for Citizens, now looking a little bit more in favor of them. They need to maintain some presence on this point, however, and it will be Eincrow holding that presence, getting the kill onto Beam, onto Dembeck, doing a lot of work here, just trying to clean up. Kuya trying to get away, just going to be taking a jump into the moat to ensure that they will.
Salieri there is just really keeping focused in that backline, exactly what they need to be doing. Messing around, trying to keep the Baptiste focus on them, and then focusing down the current time Mitch over who was on the Widowmaker, and actually able to make a jump back, throw down those mines a little bit last second before they died, and managed to pick up 2 kills because everyone was just so close proximity to each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mitch likes playing this Reaper into the Winston. We'll see if it proves as effective this time around. And it certainly seems to. Purple going to be falling with focus fire from the rest of the team. However, the kills going back and forth, certainly not looking too one-sided quite yet. We're seeing Salieri get frozen and bullied by the DPS of the side of Redacted. However, Citizens, even if they lose this right now, they are going to be getting it to 99. Mitch going to be taking a fall. That is pretty crucial. The Blizzard coming out, going to be locking down those supports who are still just trying to remain for the side of Citizens. Neither of them gets frozen, however. And the DPS just not coming through with that Reaper dropping. The Mei almost getting killed by that Doomfist from Purple. Purple just trying to put forth the damage, trying to build up that ult charge, getting brought dangerously low, taken out by Brooks. Camboyo been so resilient, going to be the last one to fall on the point, sticking around for what felt like forever.
Yeah, they were there for quite a long time, actually. They managed to let their team kind of start pushing up a little bit more and start getting grouped together, but then the fast picks were coming out from Redacted, and now holding on to this point should be a little bit easier with this bunker composition.
Yeah, it certainly will. We're going to be seeing the swap from Purple onto the Pharah. Not a bad call to deal with the Reaper. They're trying to poke through the windows onto the bridge, whatever angles they can get to try to build up that ult fast. Taking Dembeck quite low. Dembeck still getting hit, still taking some damage. A lot of burst damage potential coming through from this team. We can see Salieri trying to swing around from behind. Going to be getting the big slam into some mines. A lot of the mines going to get caught on the ceiling. That's not going to prevent Beam from running into them. Default going to be taking down Dembeck, and things are looking very good for the Citizens right here. It is their fight to lose. We're going to be seeing just Drake stand on the point right now. Mitch going to be trying to get back, hanging around. Will not quite be able to contest too much as Camboyo, the Mercy, takes them out. Lucio going to be coming in, but Beam gets brought right back down. Dembeck coming in on the emergency Hammond pick, going to have to give up that Orisa. And now we're seeing the Hammond come out just as a little bit of a desperation shot. The Eincrow Storm Dragon coming out to buy a little bit more space. And with that, Citizens are going to lock this down. We're 1-1.
Yeah, Salieri there, really with those mines showing up big. Because since everyone's so close together, he can just do a quick pile drive, throw the mines down, and then he's going to get a pick or two. Then everybody's going to be looking around as they move around point just to make sure they don't run into those mines. So now it's taking focus off from the enemy players who are also going to be putting in the damage when they're not 100% focused on them. So that was pretty big coming from Salieri, everybody, and then just able to come together and pick up the kills, clean up that point, and take the round.
Yeah, you definitely can't disagree with a play like that. When it looks like at the start of our current round here in Command Center, we're going to be seeing a little bit of a philosophical difference. We're going to be seeing pulled pork versus the Ryan Zarya combo. So the two of the tank combos that you commonly see going to be going up head to head against one another. We're going to be seeing the pulled pork take up that little middle server room area, just trying to buy space, trying to get those early picks. The Maywall coming out and the halt hook combo coming through. Purple going to get brought dangerously low, will not be able to be closed upon. Dembeck going to be forced into a spot by default. However, the immortality field going to be coming out from the side of Drake just to keep everybody alive. Default has the potential to push people out of this immortality field, but it will just get focused down. A big anti-nade from Rack Attack going to be breaking 3, preventing from that healing to come through. And now we're just seeing the kills kind of not really going in either way. That is until Salieri takes the hammer to the side of Drake's head, going to be getting the kill onto that Baptiste. And with that, Default can really flourish, really get the damage in here. And now we're seeing the kills go for Citizens in Command Center.
Yeah, the composition that Citizen is running right now is kind of like the new 222 Goats version, because they have that Doomfist with that high damage output. They have the Mei, who kind of can heal themselves. So I think right now what we're seeing is kind of a new version of the Goats. They're going to back up right now because that amplification matrix, there's no point in just trying to shield all the damage when you could just walk on a wall and it can just absorb all the damage for you.
Yeah, walls certainly don't suffer from too much damage. We're seeing Mitch and Default kind of play around in the far back room here while the rest of their teams kind of go toe-to-toe. We're going to see Brooks come through from the side, from server room. Camboyo going to be dropping beat in response to that Blizzard. It's going to come out just in time. Default going to be dropping the fist onto Brooks, the Meteor Fist that's going to be Aincro taking down the Immortality Field, and the Orisa Bongo going to be coming out to try to enforce a little bit more damage from the side of Redacted. Not going to be looking like it's going to go their way. However, Salieri pushing onto Dembeck, and with that tank falling, it's now going to be Citizens pushing up to the choke. That Maywall coming out to ensure the kill onto those two supports. But the Immortality Field just perhaps going to be... Nope, not quite saving them.
Yeah, good two pickups by Purple there just at the end of that fight. Could have stalled out a little bit longer, but I think right now Redacted are having such a hard time going into this comp because it just has such a high sustain like Goats usually does, and you can see that the wall there was actually really good, able to actually save Default possibly from dying. But right now they need to watch out on their backline. Mitch coming in.
Oh my goodness, a big Earth Shatter coming through from Salieri, however, is up upon Mitch. Going to be the only Redacted dying so far, and it's looking like Citizen's going to be falling. It's going to be Camboyo on point just to try to stall out again. I certainly don't blame them based on how they were stalling on their last map, and they're going to be getting it up to about 88%, 90%, but that is just enough time for Salieri to come back and in turn put some stall onto the point, and it's going to be looking very good for Citizens even if they do lose point here.
Yeah, and now they have one more fight to try to take this back. Citizens, all they need is that one, and then Redacted is going to have to try to hurry up and scramble to get back to point, which is going to be harder with this bunker, but it's also a little bit harder to break the bunker because it is such a stationary, set up in one spot composition. Really hard to break through right now. That's why you see it so much, because it's just so good at keeping the ground that they want. And going in and out this wall, pretty big here, holding them off damage.
Yeah, absolutely massive. We're going to be seeing the Blizzard come out from Aincro right towards that Blizzard. It looks like the Hog going to be the only one who kind of gets frozen, almost gets frozen, doesn't quite. Drake going to be taking down the kills. Salieri then trading for Brooks. A DPS gone from both sides. The Meteor Strike coming in from Default is going to buy them a little bit of a reprieve, time to regain some health, some shields. Default then going to take out Drake from that high ground. An excellent use of that Meteor Strike. That Orisa going just toe-to-toe with Default's Doomfist. However, it's looking like Default's going to be the victor here. And with that, we're going to see Citizens retake it. And the question is, can Redacted have enough manpower to come back?
Yeah, right now it's not looking like so, but Kuya going as fast as they can on that ball. Not quite able to make it to point, though. Citizens taking map 2 here on Lijiang.
Yeah, this is a very powerful position for Citizens because they are now in a 2-0 lead, meaning that Redacted has to have pretty much a perfect run here. Relatively speaking, if they want to make it, or if they want to continue through this winner's bracket. And man, I thought it was going to be a little bit more even-sided, but with the exception of Night Market, I suppose, it's looking like Citizens kind of walking away with this a little bit.
Yeah, and I think what they really need to do right now on the side of Redacted is kind of understand that when they're running this sort of composition on an attack phase, that is going to be a lot harder for them to take it. So maybe when they do want to go in for more of the offense, maybe they want to switch over to a little bit more dive, but something that can kind of get in there a little bit faster, something that can really attack that back line, because Citizens right now really getting aggressive. They're really pushing up. And I mean, with the DPS going through right now, especially Default on the Doomfist, I believe it was, just absolutely picking up kills, just putting in so much damage and using the Meteor Strike very good. They targeted the Mei at one point when they were just using their Blizzard, got them down, and then again with the Baptiste, who was stuck on top of high ground. So they knew that they were going to have to either use that Immortality Field on themselves and they wouldn't have it for the rest of their team, or they would throw it to their team before they die and they would be dead. So knowing that, focused him down, just took out the Immortality Field, and then took out the Baptiste, just leading to a little bit more of a snowball.
Yeah, absolutely. You talk a lot about Doomfist, and you talk kind of about his basic abilities, how his combos can go, his, whether you start with a drop and then an uppercut, then a punch, or whatever the combos are. Not necessarily a Doomfist main here, but I feel like his ultimate often gets overlooked because a lot of times it's used either for retreat or to get big combos with something like a Zarya grab. But really, when you get those one kill opportunities with that Meteor Strike, and they're so crucial, can really change a fight or at least help reinforce it. I'm not sure that it was necessarily required by default to get that kill onto the Baptiste or the Mei, but I think it definitely helped. I think that the fight went a lot easier for Citizens as opposed to if he hadn't.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for there. Was like, it definitely felt like it had a little bit of a bigger effect than maybe if they were just to kind of zone them out. But now Redacted, Matt that got banned, Numbani, looking at this now, Redacted, what are they going to want to go with? They feel like they're comfortable running this bunker comp, so maybe they want to go something that also can run a very good bunker comp, maybe not only on the defense, but also on the offense, because they do like running it there. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be surprised they were to go something with that, and they actually are going to go with a map that I think is probably the best for that, which is Dorado.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be seeing Dorado come up, so bring out your Mexican flair if you like. And speaking of bringing it out, bring out those votes for our players. Let them know who you think is popping off, who you think is performing well. Let us know down in the Twitch MVP vote below as well. If you like what we're doing, if you like the production quality, if you like the casting quality, if you just want to show some support to the organization, be sure to give us a follow, give us a like, give us an endorsement, a sub, whatever your preferred method of social media endorsement is. Be sure and hit that button. But we're going to be hopping into Dorado here. And Zach, do you have any predictions as how this is going to go?
Ooh, I'm not sure how this map is going to go. I think this is probably going to be the closest map we're going to see here, because Redacted do like to run that bunker so much, and they're pretty good on it, to be honest. But Citizens also have had some pretty good luck with Dorado. I believe in their last match, they were actually able to hold it until they got like right under the bridge, or very close to right under the bridge, and then on their attack they were just able to kind of roll through there. So going into this, Redacted are going to have to be a little bit cautious of that, and to be careful of the Citizens defense and make sure that it doesn't hold up for too long. But I think that it's definitely a winnable map for Redacted.
Yeah, and I don't want to play spoiler quite yet, but Salieri was hopping onto that Bastion for the defense right out of the gates. Not sure if they're going to be throwing them on that. Salieri, more of a tank player for this team, but maybe they're trying to change something up here. Not saying that Bastion on high ground is the worst of ideas, but it's definitely a composition that might require a little bit more teamwork here than just running your straight DPS style mechanical skill-based compositions. But we're really going to be seeing here in a couple seconds when the team compositions become unlocked for us. And yeah, it looks like Salieri is going to be hopping onto that Orisa instead of the Bastion.
Yeah, which is usually what you want your main tank on. You want them on a main tank most of the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, you could absolutely switch up roles. Maybe someone is well versed in Mei, Orisa, and Baptiste, and maybe they just switch between the three. Who knows? You could really do anything. But normally people just stick with the one role. And on the defense here, Default is actually in a pretty good position right now with that Hanzo. Not only do you have like these long range areas where snipers really shine, but because of that storm bow or storm arrow, they can just break the shield a lot faster. But on the offense now, Mitch, I think, is going to elect to stay on this Bastion, which arguably has a little bit better of a shield break.
Yeah, they might just be intending to set up right onto the cart, which it looks like they are. An anti-nade going on to 3 members. Not going to be punished too much for it. The Grav coming out, trying to wear down that Ori shield. The Immort field going to be dropped right onto the cart. And the Mei wall actually coming up just to dislocate that Bastion. That's a very clever use of the Mei wall. But we're going to be seeing Dembeck try to go from behind, trying to get some Reinhardt swings into the team from below. Not going to quite be working out too much, but it will cause the side of Citizens to have to drop down just a little bit as well. They'll get some cart contests. Mitch going to be dropping, not quite able to gain the benefit from that immortality field. The Orisa halt coming in, but it's not looking like Purple's hook was quite there to coordinate with. But Purple going to be taking the side angle, hooking into Kuya. Not going to be quite following up for the kill. They decide they may just want to let it go. And the Maywall once again coming in to block the damage amplification from Drake. These Maywalls have been pretty superb from Aincro, getting some decent value. Aincro already ready to throw in that Blizzard. And we're going to now be seeing the Storm Dragon come in. However, the Immortality Field going to be keeping everybody up. That is until Salieri takes it down. Beam going to be dropping her immediately after. And now we're seeing the Mei come out. The Reinhardt going to be taking the pin onto Purple's Roadhog. However, However, doesn't look like it's going to work out too well for them, as kills are going strongly in favor of Citizens, with only a few losses on the side of Redacted, or with only a few losses on their end.
Yeah, and Citizens able to kind of push Redacted into more of a favorable spot for them. Being underneath the bridge there, they felt very comfortable using that Hanzo Dragon, and then followed up with a Blizzard afterwards. And then Rack Attack has really just been keeping their eye out, it feels like, whenever they get a chance, throwing in an anti-nade and picking up a couple people with that to kind of then make the engage a little bit easier. Kimboyo using the Valkyrie now. A Bongo also coming out with the EMP, taking that Bongo out of the cycle.
Yeah, as we mentioned, Einkrö and Purple also getting hit by those by that disabling EMP. Not too many members gonna to help Camboyo get that res onto Salieri, and the res will go through. A big anti-nade going in from the side of Rack Attack, followed up by the nano boost. It's going to be going on to Purple. Not going to be getting too much benefit, however, the kill's not quite coming through. However, the sound barrier will be coming in from Beam. Mitch going to be cleaned up, not quite gaining the benefit either. And now it's looking like the cart for the side of Redacted is going to be taking the first point, and in fact, it will.
Yeah, really good cap onto the first point here. Sound barrier there to provide healing for, well, not really healing, but extra health for everyone going into the last fight territory on the map, on the phase. Jeez, I don't know where my head's at right now. I apologize. I just feel like I'm all over the place right now. There's so many alts being used, and so many people just kind of taking a little bit behind positions and just trying to keep focused right now. But looking at this, they're going to switch over maybe to a little bit more of a divey sort of comp on the side of Citizens, which would be fairly good here considering now they don't have that Bastion, so jumping onto them won't be as much of a death sentence have you. But Brooks with this EMP here could show up huge, and I mean with how much space that Redacted is just kind of being allowed to have here, one EMP into a good fight could just mean that the next point is captured fairly fast.
Yeah, it may have been a little bit of a misplay, however, the EMP going to come. Dragon Blade EMP going to catch 4. Purple getting demeched, Rack Attack getting taken out before the Nano Boost can come out. And as you called it, it's going to be a pretty quick second point take. It's just going to be Einkrö ready to stall, has that Blizzard online, trying to contest. Not going to invest the Blizzard, just going to be dropping, and it's looking like that was a pretty convincing second point.
Yeah, taking it fast there with about almost 3 minutes. Now a little bit over 4 going into this last point here. Really good time bank for Redacted. If they're able to cap this all the way, that would be amazing. But with how far they made it as of now, still very impressive. And like I said, 4 minutes still left on the clock. Ultimate-wise, they got the Amplification Matrix coming in, but the Nano onto Salieri is probably just going to go through them.
Yeah, Salieri going to be taking down Mitch right before the Immortality Field comes out from Drake. Drake going to continue to get chased down by the Giant Monkey. Salieri going on a little bit of a killing spree here. Default not wanting to be left out, going to clean up that Orisa. And with that, we're seeing Citizens start to reclaim some field here.
Yeah, and they're taking a really aggressive far-up positions. Probably to try to win this next fight too, I assume, to like get an earlier next fight. It's going to be a little bit harder for them, especially with Default going down. That's a pretty good pick. That's definitely not what Citizens wanted there. Now they have to back up, and Salieri kind of stuck far back, hoping that maybe the team could do a quick push-up soon here, or maybe they just want to wait for them to take a little bit more space, and Salieri can try to slowly make their way back to their team.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing the May ult not go through. It's going to be activated by Einkrö before May's hand being boiled. The Kuya going to be getting stuck with the Pulse Mine, however, having that Fortify up to prevent all the damage coming through. Default going to be finally taking down that Orisa. However, it might be a little too late, as we're going to be seeing Redacted start to claim the kills. We'll be seeing the Primal Rage also being popped out from the side of Salieri, who then gets the hammer brought down onto them. It's going to be a little bit more cart progress for Redacted. It's looking dangerous here for Citizens.
Yeah, a lot of ultimates right now coming up for Redacted. Pretty soon going to be having that Barrage, Valkyrie almost online too. But this Diva ult could provide some attack in the air against this Pharah and Mercy to just kind of either pick them off or make them move lower onto the ground here.
Yeah, Diva Bomb coming in, going to be taking down Mitch and the Immortality resource not available now for the side of the offense here. It's going to be Kuya getting brought dangerously low, going to be focused down by Default, who does receive the Nano Boost. Rack Attack and company finally going to be recovering the cart, and this is kind of their last hold here, Porzak.
Yeah, well, that Electric Cowboy there, able to pick up a few kills. Default there, that was pretty nice to see. Always love seeing that Electric Cowboy. But yeah, going into this next fight, I mean, they almost have 4 ultimates on the side of Redacted here. They have the Rally only for the side of Citizens, so if Brooks is able to hit a really good barrage here, I think is probably going to be the main thing they're looking for.
Yeah, Default gonna get brought dangerously low, meaning Camboyo has to use that repair pack. Dembeck gonna be taking down Eincro early. That is not a member you want. Not want to lose one of your DPS. And there is still this Pharah kind of playing in the sky, but Default going to be removing that threat from the sky. Default continuing to go on a killing rampage right now. The Immortality Field coming out from Drake, who has now been put into the ground. Brooks coming out with the Rocket Barrage, however. Default continues to be a terror to those mounted in the sky. Going to be dropping the High Noon just for the quick reload. Going to be coming back and pushing back the rest of the team Redacted. And it's going to be Mitch as the last one to fall. Mercy going to get out of there safe and sound.
Yeah, Default really putting in some high damage there on that McCree. With just how many shots they have and how much damage it does, able to take down that far, usually in just 3 bullets out of the 6th round, I guess, I don't know what you would call it, revolver. I was going to say like clip, but that didn't really make too much sense. You don't really put a clip in there. It's kind of, it's got its own thing.
Its own thing.
Yeah, it's got its own thing, but able to take him down. So now Redacted switching over to a little bit more of a similar comp. They got the Hanzo now, which I think they realized that Camboyo is a little bit out of position for them, but Ankro and Default able to get the first 2 picks.
Yeah, absolutely. A big anti-nade coming onto Dembeck and Drake as the shield drops for the charge. And with that, the kills are just going to come through from Citizens. The Winston primaling the Zarya off the map. It's actually going to be the jump pack force that knocks her out. That is a really late kill you don't like to see when you're in a mode like this.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate to get, but Kuya is actually probably a little bit happy about that because they were going to maybe possibly switch over to something that would be a little more stall capable.
Yeah, the High Noon going to be coming out from Default, taking down Drake. Dembeck getting slept mid-charge, then having to be anti-naded. Going to be pretty crucial for the defense here. They really needed that. The Earth Shatter coming through, going to be landing onto 3. Rakatech, Camboyo, and Purple, all going to be taking a little bit of a fall. Redacted able to get beamed to give that res back up to Kuya. That's going to be a little bit more time on point. However, Default still showing McCree prowess here, still looking dominant, and that's going to be holding for the side of Citizens just at the 3rd point.
I mean, yeah, it was a really good hold there at the end. They didn't let him fully cap it, but they got that cart very far. You don't usually see that cart getting all the way almost to that capping point. So Citizens are really going to have to come out with a really strong offensive if they plan to take this map.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, I mean, a large part of that was just how little during the second streets phase, the point 1 to point 2, it just did not seem like the side of Citizens were really ready to mount any sort of defensive hold there until the very last moment. And by then it was just a little too late.
Yeah, so now for the offense, I assume that Citizens are also going to go with a bunker style composition here. And then as we've seen Redacted, they do feel comfortable on that bunker. They've gone on quite a few times, so I assume we're going to see that for them as well. But who knows? Could be throwing a curveball here, but it looks like that's what they're going to elect to do. Maybe use the D.Va here. The D.Va or Roadhog is usually a very good off tank to go with the Orisa because the D.Va can not only provide that rocket damage to go for the shield as well as the Roadhog could with the right click, but also eating the hults, which could be a very big, impact, especially if the enemy team were to run that Roadhog and just pull them in. So you could either eat the halt, just making sure that that hook doesn't get any value to begin with, or you could go in if they do end up getting hooked and kind of preventing that damage from getting onto them when they are closer into that team comp.
Yeah, very true. We are going to be seeing the double snipers come out from the defense, perhaps looking to get a little bit more mechanical play going here. They're going to be catching out Default and Rakatech with that sonar arrow, as well as the dive tanks from Salieri and Purple. Looking to not elect for that Orisa composition. They're going to be choosing to contest the high ground this time around. And we're going to be seeing the anti-nade come out from Rakatech, going to be hitting mostly their team, none from the opposing team, in fact. And right now it's just a little bit of positioning, trying to get the cart moved up inch by inch. And they're trying to see if they can catch out, it seems, Brooks, but not going to quite be the case. Rakatech getting brought dangerously low by that Hanzo sniper. And Salieri taking a nap. This is a dangerous position, going to get burned down for that exact reason. And with this, it's just not looking like a great start for Citizens. But Eincro taking down Brooks might be the turnaround that was required. Eincro then taking down Mitch. That is all the DPS he pulled from the defense. And we're seeing the sleep on the Purple. These tags have been having such a hard time against this Ana. But Purple going to be getting woken back up and diving alongside with Eincro, doing a ton of damage. And with that, Citizens taking a little bit longer, but they're going to be getting the first point, or getting progress on the first point all the same.
Yeah, Drake with really good sleep stare on the back line, but the issue is when, ooh, that's a pretty big pick to have there. But the issue is when you're going in and someone does get slept while they're diving, there's gonna be maybe too many eyes focused on that sleeping enemy team member that you're not really gonna notice all the other players that are also still putting in damage. The ones who are still awake, you got to be cautious of them as well. And Default right now, he's definitely awoken, getting 2 headshots now.
Yeah, Default looking so good. However, the hack going to go on to purple. That is a tough spot for the main tank to be put in. Not going to be able to jump out of the way, throw down a shield, but a lot of ults going to be online. Looking questionable if any will be going into effect this fight. Default taking down Mitch, and suddenly the fight is looking a little bit more even. Default pulling a lot of weight here, taking down the tank and Dembek. The snipers performing absolutely superbly in this situation, and it's looking like a little bit more progress for Citizens.
Yeah, right now this double sniper from Citizens are really putting in work. Both Encro and Default have been getting major pickoffs here, not only at the start of fights, but cleaning them up at the end as well. So I think right now, Redacted are probably just going to be focusing out those snipers, or maybe a support in the backline as well, just to kind of mitigate the damage input from them. And now the Valkyrie being popped.
Yeah, Brooks going to be taking the anti-nade hit, not going to suffer too much from it. Purple getting brought down by Beam. That's a peculiar kill to be seeing going through, but Brooks chasing down that Hanzo, going to be punished by Default. However, Beam continuing to be the fragger for their team in this fight. Going to be taking them down, however, going to walk right into a mine. Will stop the fragging from that Lucio coming through. Salieri now going to be returning, getting quite a lot of damage done with those mines. As Kuya gets killed, it's going to be a second point secure for the side of Citizens, and they're looking just as good.
Yeah, just as good, even better right now with a little over 5 minutes, a whole nother minute. But we saw from the defense they were to hold him for a really long time. So, of course, definitely not out of the question for them, but being super aggressive right now, Citizens actually able to pick up 2.
Yeah, getting super aggressive, and Purple going to get slept for it. Salieri also going to get killed right out in front of the defense spawn. That is not a spot you want to be. Purple in a similar situation, but the cart is still making progress. Default taking down Drake, going to be making that on a think twice about stepping into some open sight lines. And now we're seeing Redacted take possession of the cart, and Salieri trying to do a little bit of poke damage, and Rack Attack going to be the one getting the kills. However, these Hanzo Storm Dragons coming out. Default going mad, getting Beam and Brooks. Anybody with a B name on the opposing team must beware. Einkro demecking Kuya. That's going to be a baby diva on the field. And now the cart is getting dangerously close to that golden box that Citizens needed to get to win.
Yeah, and right now the mine's coming out of the spawn. They actually able to pick up Beam. The EMP coming through. But Brooks actually, with the Nano Blade, picking up 2, maybe even able to pick up a 3rd.
Yeah, Brooks going to get 2. Not quite going to get the 3rd before the blade goes back in its sheath. However, it will be Salieri getting out, or getting knocked out, excuse me, from the damage coming through by the defense. The hack going on to Einkro. However, Hanzo's still going to be able to get away, not quite punished too badly. And we're going to be seeing a little bit of a reset come through from both sides, a little bit of poke coming through from Brooks to just try to build that charge. And the dive goes onto the top from Purple. We're now seeing the double tank come through, Salieri and Purple running the Winston Reinhardt. Einkro taking down Drake early. That might be a crucial kill coming through. The Diva Bomb coming through from Kuya, and gonna be taken down before the mech can come through. The Storm Dragon's coming out once again. Sombra gonna be coming in just to try to contest cart, do a little bit more damage, perhaps try to build up that EMP, but now it is all going in Citizens' favor. We're seeing Poper pop that Primal Rage right at the spawn of the defense, and because that's gonna buy enough space, Citizens gonna take the cart, make it a 3-0 win.
Yeah, very convincing Prado map from Citizens. They may have looked a little bit shaky on the defense, able to pick it up when they were on the last stretch, though, and make sure they didn't fully cap it. And then on the offense, they were just kind of able to pick up that maybe the second fight more towards the first point, completely go through the second point without an issue, have only probably 2 or 3 fights on that last point, and able to pick it up fairly fast. I believe they had over 3 minutes left still.
Yeah, it was looking good all around, meaning that Citizens will be the team that is going to be moving on through our winners bracket. But if you're a fan of Redacted, never fear, they are still going to be continuing with us just in the lower bracket. So be sure and tune in, catch their game, show them a little bit of support, let them know that they're not out of the running quite yet. But in the meantime, before we wrap up here and announce our MVP votes, make sure you're throwing those in. We are going to be having a little bit of a powwow with one of the players from Citizens.
Yeah, and pretty good match coming out from them. Now moving on farther into the winner, or the match brackets. Main bracket. Geez, I don't know where I'm at today. I'm so sorry. It's going to be pretty interesting with the next match coming up. They could possibly be going against Phase 1, who was able to take the last tournament from them as well.
Yeah, quite a solid opponent to be going up against. But right now we are going to be having Default hop right into the chat with us. How are you doing, my friend?
It's actually purple.
Yeah.
Oh, you pulled the tricks on me.
Yeah,
Default. I'm watching you. I'm watching you.
I was going to say
Thank you.
it's
I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys feeling after that game?
Pretty good, pretty good. We didn't think it was. We thought it was gonna be a little bit closer than it was. No offense to Redacted. We haven't played them in a while, so we thought they would get a lot better, and they did. But we've been practicing a lot, so we improved a lot too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we saw, a couple different styles coming out from you guys that definitely all had their own different flavor. But when it comes to you personally, what's your preferred way of team play? Do you have a preferred team comp that you like your squad to run?
Yeah, so right now everyone's kind of running Orisa Hog, Orisa Hog, and then they run snipers or support. And I don't like that comp at all. I just don't think it's very enjoyable. I really want the meta to turn into dive because I really enjoyed playing dive back when it was meta.
Yeah, I could definitely relate to that. So of the tanks, would you say that you prefer D.Va much more so over Roadhog, even with these recent nerfs that have been going in, or is it just you just get tired of the ball and chain meta?
Yeah, I definitely prefer D.Va over Roadhog, but D.Va feels really bad to play right now just because you get spammed so much. And it's kind of hard to set up dives, so I don't know. Maybe there'll have to be some balance changes for that to be good. We'll see.
Yeah, and I mean, let's hope. I'm personally kind of a little bit of a fan of dive as well, so I certainly can't blame you for wanting that to go a little bit more of the fast-paced way. But that being said, what's kind of the communication style between you and your team? Is it very organized? Is there one shot caller? Is there one ult tracker, or is it just kind of like everybody screaming, as I've heard a lot of teams kind of just devolve into?
Yeah, that's it. Definitely started out like that, and then over time we've been together for a while, so over time it definitely got a lot more cohesive. We have Sal normally target calls and shot calls, and then Camboya will be the one to ult track after fight and help with pre-plan.
Yeah, and of course this is not your first Overwatch Watchers brawl, so are you guys looking to kind of take away the win this time? I mean, I'm sure that's the goal, but do you think there's going to be any struggles, and if so, what are they that you're going to run into this time around that you may not have run into last time?
Oh yeah, for sure. Obviously Phase 1, we have played them a lot, and we've yet to win, so they're our main kind of opponent, I guess. But I'm sure there are other teams that are in this tournament that weren't in the other ones that are pretty good as well. I see Triumph Academy is pretty good. We played them a while ago. I'm not sure whether we won or lost. I don't really remember. But they were pretty good too.
Fantastic. Well, good to know. Definitely going to have to be keeping an eye out for your team, for Citizens, to be playing some of those matches. If they do go through, who knows? Maybe Phase 1 gets, a little bit swatted by Triumph or something along those lines. It's all to be determined. But Default I keep looking at your Discord name, Purple, before I let you go here. Is there anything you want to say to the audience out there? Anything you want to say to your opponents, to your teams, to your staff? You have the floor.
Pick up Octile.
Absolutely. Well, there you have it. Purple, I want to thank you for hopping in here, just answering a few questions with us and just hanging out in general.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Best. We will go ahead and let you go to your team, but once again, thank you. And as we wait for the votes to come in, poor Zach, do you have anybody that you're really feeling as the MVP for tonight?
Ooh, I think tonight I'm gonna have to give it to Default. Default just was really showing up on the Doomfist. They were doing really well on the Widow, so I think all around very well versed DPS main, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were tonight's MVP. But there were definitely others that I could still see getting this.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like Default's play, specifically on Li Jiang Command Center with that Doomfist, as we saw. And then on a little bit of, if memory serves, Dorado with that Widowmaker. I think we saw some excellent shots, excellent kills coming through. But, however, it looks like our MVP vote has come in, and it does look like it's actually going to be Brooks coming in from the side of Redacted. So, Brooks, much congratulations to you for getting that MVP vote. As well, congratulations to Citizens for running away with the win here in our match 14 of the Overwatch All-Stars Brawl. But I think that's about ready to wrap it up here for us tonight. For your casting entertainment, I have been Sir Waltham. You can catch me on Twitch or Twitter at Sir Waltham, WALTHAM.
And I've been your color caster, Poor Zach. You can find me on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, all at Poor Zach.
Fantastic. And for those of us here watching, or for those of us here at the Overwatch All-Stars Brawl, we want to thank you for tuning in, and we hope everybody has a great night and stays safe out there.
Goodbye.